Hey, what's up, everybody? This is Joe Tossi from TechTables.com, and you're listening to the Public Sector Show by TechTables. This podcast features human-centric stories from public sector CIOs, CISOs, and technology leaders across federal, state, city, county, and higher education. You'll gain valuable insights into current issues and challenges faced by top leaders. Through interviews, speaking engagements, live podcast tour events, we offer you a behind-the-mic look at the opportunities top leaders are seeing today. And to make sure you never miss an episode, head over to Spotify and Apple Podcasts and hit that follow button and leave a quick rating. Just tap the number of stars that you think this show deserves.
Today we're reuniting two friends of mine back to the show, Dr. Vanessa Kenon at UTSA and Dr. Joe Wei, who's now at UCLA. Welcome to the Public Sector Show by TechTables once again.
Hey Joe, glad to be here.
Yeah, no, excited to have you both. For those who don't know you, because the audience has grown quite a bit since the last time, give us a quick intro on yourself, Vanessa.
Vanessa Kenon, and I'm at the University of Texas at San Antonio, Associate Vice President for Technology Compliance and Community Engagement, which covers a whole lot, Joe. But a big part of that is working with our students and our Bold Careers Interns and Ambassadors program, and that's what we're going to talk a little bit about today, and I'll work with eSports. So I'm really excited about that. I also have HOP policies, technology compliance, audit, all the fun stuff as well.
Yeah, you got a lot of fun stuff. Joe?
Yeah, hey, Joe, thank you so much for having me back on. My favorite person to talk to, so I'm excited about this. Yeah, so I am at UCLA now. I had a former role a little bit down the freeway at SC formerly, but I've been at UCLA now for just about a year, where my title is Executive Director of Digital Spaces. Greatest title ever, tells you nothing about what I do. And really what I do is I oversee the audio-visual teams across the enterprise. So overseeing the learning technologies like in our classrooms, but also our digital signage, our executive conference rooms, our live event spaces. So it's a pretty robust portfolio.
I love that. And I loved the tour, and I'm going to link to the episode, but Joe gave him a tour when he was at SC with my daughter, and I'm very looking forward to maybe next year we'll bring Annabelle to UCLA. She get another tour, different school. And so, Vanessa, it's been about 2 years since you've been on the podcast.
Yes.
I've seen you since then, but 2 years since on the podcast. Catch us up. What's the 30,000-foot overview in the last 2 years?
Oh my goodness, I think our program has expanded tremendously with the students, working with them, with new things. We have students now working with Department of Defense contractors on all kind of artificial intelligence stuff. I don't know what they do because they can't tell me what they do. And also we have students working on ServiceNow and their portfolio and doing all kinds of certifications. We've got a great new program working with the University of Texas system, and we've been working to spread our internship ambassadors and interns program throughout the UT system. So I've been working with some of the other CIOs at the different system schools. It's been really exciting and a lot of fun to share what we're doing. Our program has just expanded like crazy. We served over 85 students last semester, and this is out of an IT department. So it's not like it's out of career service or somewhere else. These are all IT things. So just really exciting to do this type of program with students and see the amazing work that they're doing. A big part of that, though, is the things we've been doing with Roadrunner Gaming. Last time you and I talked, we were at Six Flags, and we had a chance to take you through what we were doing over there at the E6 Arena that is sponsored by Coca-Cola. And so that is amazing, an amazing arena over there, and getting a chance to really look at what's going on and having our folks to be there. In addition to that, we have also signed on with eSports Next. We're going to be a part of the eSports Trade Association. So that's a big announcement as the chair of EDUCAUSE this year. That was one of the things that we said we wanted to do here at EDUCAUSE. So I actually brought the jerseys and the whole works here.
Show the camera.
Oh, I will. So for our eSports Next, working with the eSports Trade Association, we are going to start.
Okay, show that Six Flags logo.
There we go. Got the Six Flags logo where we have our E6. So we just had to do that. I love it because the eSports Trade Association is out of Chicago. So it's really cool. This particular jersey has the full Chicago skyline on it. So we've been giving these out as well here as we are starting our brand new eSports Trade Association chapter down in San Antonio. North Texas has an amazing chapter, and we've already told them we're going to give you some competition with that chapter stuff. Just a great group to be a part of. And it's not just universities, it's business. It's amazing. Esports is a multi-billion-dollar operation now. And so to see what's going on with the students and in that particular field.
That's a great catch up. If someone from Coca-Cola or Six Flags is watching, you want to sponsor Tech Tables, I'll put Coca-Cola right here. I'll put Six Flags right here on the jacket next to Tech Tables. We're taking sponsorships. Joe at TechTables.com. Hit me up. So, Joe, give us the catch up. Has it been about 18 months, 14 months? 14 months, okay. Give us the catch up on that.
Gosh, it's one of those things where if you told me I've been at UCLA for 14 days, 14 weeks, 14 months, or 14 years, I'd believe them all, because it feels like we've done so much yet done nothing at all at the same time. It's been quite a ride. I didn't come with props, so she's one-upping us on props here. But no, the move to UCLA was really an important one, because what we're doing, and just to be honest, there was a lot of tech debt at UCLA, probably a good 18 to 20 years worth of tech debt. And we're going through we call it digital campus roadmap, which is essentially a digital transformation, but we're looking at how we provide our services and what that really means for the student. We know that in the last few years, the demographics of students have just changed, right? And who they are and how they look at the campus experience, which is why, like I joked when we started, my wide portfolio. It doesn't seem to make sense at first, going, why do I have all these things? Right? I didn't even mention I have security cameras, all of these different things, comms and finance, because our students now don't think of going to class. We used to compartmentalize our students, right? And go, oh, here's their class time. Anything that happens in these four walls is education. Then they go to their sports or their fraternity house or whatever. But our students don't see that. They think this is a college and campus experience. So we're looking at how can we make everything frictionless, from when they're in their dorm room all the way in through their class, all the way into watching the basketball game at Pauley Pavilion, right? That's really what we're looking to do. So in that last 14 months, we're also going through a reorganization of our team. So I've been doing a lot of recruiting, almost done. I got a rock star team, again, to look where things are going. We're bringing people from outside of higher education, people from industry who are there and have changed technology, and bringing them into our organization. That's been the main focus, to now being able to, in the next couple of years, do a full redo of all of our technologies. And then we're also really excited that UCLA is going to be Olympic Village for the 2028 Olympics. So that is a big push as well. We have a flag in the ground we have to get everything done by. So that's really been our focus and what we've been doing to now.
I love that. It's fantastic. Shout out episode of the Olympics. I interviewed Ted Ross, who's the CIO for the city of LA. You can catch that episode in the show notes. Vanessa, Bold Careers program, has been a model for experiential learning in higher ed. Walk us through some of your proudest success stories over the past 2 years.
Oh my goodness gracious. I think the best thing is seeing the student testimonials. We've just hung testimonial banners from students to include and ask other students, if you're interested in this program, come on in, here it is. I think there are 6 by 8 feet banners, and Rackspace has been a really good partner. Rackspace is here in San Antonio. I don't know if you had a chance to interview them.
Rackspace, you need to get on the podcast.
We're going to get them on the podcast. We will get them on the podcast, that's for sure. So they have been a great partner. They're based in San Antonio, and if you know anything about Rackspace, they are global. And so they've been a great partner. So they did these 6 by 8 foot banners that we have hanging all across campus. And it's the testimonials from the students saying what the program has done for them, how it's prepared them. Experiential learning is so important. You can go in, and I think Joe hit it right on the nose, that students see education has changed, completely changed. They need to do other things. They need to be out with employers, spending that time with employers, spending that time doing hands-on, real experience jobs while they're getting their education. So that's what we're seeing through students who come to us through internship programs, or students who come to us just as ambassadors in their first year. They want to get involved. They don't want to just go to the classroom and do the classroom work. Exactly what you said. They want to have that hands-on experience, but also build things for their resumes. We have 3 students who are here with us out of our program that are presenting. Fantastic way to build their resumes. They're getting public speaking experience. They're getting a chance to talk to people. I have one student who's here with me. Every time I see him, he's at some other booth passing his resume. He's got his business cards all set up, talking to people. He is amazing. So it's just fantastic to actually look at what's going on. And as a part of EDUCAUSE and being the EDUCAUSE chair for this year, one of the big things we've talked about is our pipeline program. EDUCAUSE is a pipeline program that they started a couple of years ago. expanding that program and getting more students. They're our future. If we don't have them involved and get a chance to see this kind of experience, work with all of our vendor partners and see what is it that they're looking for students coming out of a university. So that's so important, to getting them here. So expanding that pipeline program, getting more people to sponsor it as time goes along. So that's a big discussion through EDUCAUSE as well, is expanding that program and giving students those experiential learning opportunities to come here and do this. I will say this, one of my greatest experiences is one of the students who helped me to set this program up, it's been 4 years now, came to EDUCAUSE, did a presentation. She did several presentations with me. The first job she had was in South America. So this is amazing. And I see her, and where is she? She's doing what these people are doing. She's out as a sales rep and a senior sales rep. She was bilingual, so it was perfect for her as a job. But she got that experience and got to talk to people in a place like this, in a forum like this, to know, hey, that's something I would like to do as a part of my career.
I want to add to what you were saying, because I think you had a really good point that we shouldn't gloss over, and that's that students nowadays are their own brand, right? And so we as educators, as those who kind of run the technology at our schools, have to understand that we have a job to build that for them or give them the platform to build it for themselves, right? I love that you have students here. Likewise, we have a lot of our team here. Students are presenting poster sessions, getting into things, because now they're able to come here to a show like this or anywhere and go, how is my school now building who I'm going to be in a job? It's no longer just a resume line item anymore, right? And I think that's what they're starting to recognize, because in higher education, I'm going to give you an unpopular opinion, but true. To be honest, probably a lot of undergraduate degrees, there's nothing you're going to learn at the school that you couldn't learn on YouTube for an undergraduate level, right? So we're not the sellers of information anymore like we used to be, right? We are now creating and giving them that brand for them. That's where we can add value to our students. The information is out there, right? So being able to give them the tools to be successful. That's why I love your eSports program. You're talking about the same thing. When I was over at SC, we built our creative lab and our eSports and pulled all that together because the students could say, hey, you know what, I'm not just a gamer, or maybe I am a gamer, but I'm also a content creator. I'm also need to be able to market myself. And those are the opportunities that we can give. It's not just, hey, what's my major? I go to class, and then in 4 years, I get a diploma, and hopefully that gets me the job. They could be getting jobs and things that have nothing to do with where their actual degree is, because those skills are needed in every single vertical. Same thing here, where I own IT, EDUCAUSE, right? But marketing people are needed and working these booths, right? All of this, we're sitting here doing a podcast in the middle of the floor. There's so many different avenues that our students can take advantage of, and that's where we, as leaders at our institutions, have to be able to offer that for them, right? And give them those opportunities, because that's what they're looking for. That's what they're shopping for, is understanding what kind of person am I going to be when I graduate, not what's the information you're going to give me when I'm there, right?
An excellent point, and there are so many universities now. We just started this fall a game design, and so we have a game design degree, and that degree program just started. So as a part of that game design degree, we're interacting as well with our folks. We just met with one of the professors, and I'm sure you guys are probably way ahead of us in having that kind of program there, but we're seeing it more and more in universities. And as we say this, and we talk about eSports and we talk about what's going on, the interesting thing is you hit it on the nose. A lot of the folks that are maybe training in these particular areas don't go out and maybe work in eSports. NBC did a show not long ago to say that we are so behind air traffic controllers. We don't have enough of those. And as we all know, that affects what's going on with our flying, what's going on with the schedules and everything else. Guess what are the number one people that are being able to pass the test? They're the folks that are the gamers. They're faster, the mind, the hand coordination, the thinking, the thoughts, because they have spent so much of their life and their time doing that. Really quick thinking, really quick decision making. And because they're doing that, those gamers are some of the people that are going to be up there saving our lives.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I love how both of you are thinking about this. And we've got Thomas and Hannah right over there. And if Thomas ever wanted to become a creator, He's smiling. I don't know, maybe he does. With the brand, you also build those connections, right? And Thomas could email me 5 years from now and be like, dude, you've got this podcast, you remember me? And seriously, like those are connections, and most people want to help the next generation because there's other people who are helping you level up. And at the school, you're building the brand and you're building those connections, and the resume, like the resume is so funny because people will ask me like, what have you done? And I go, TechTables.com, right? Like that's the resume. 200 episodes, like that's the resume. We never heard of you. I'm like, TechTables.com. Just take a peek.
And it's funny because I'll send people, I was like, have you ever been on the show with Joe Toes? And they're like, no, who's that? And all I have to do is, you're right, TechTables.com.
Yeah.
And they're like, oh yeah, I want to do that. I want to do that. It's just growing and growing, amazing.
Yeah, and we had the 23rd governor for the state of Arizona on this year, which definitely blew it up for sure, which is awesome.
But doesn't that speak to, again, the opportunities we have in education too, right? For our students to give them those, I know we use the word connections and all that stuff, but I think it's more than that, right? It's opening up the doors of opportunity for wherever they want to go. And I think the workforce for the future can't be individual specialists. You have to really understand how your craft fits in a bigger scheme, right? And the bigger world, because that's what we're looking for, especially if we're living in a hybrid world, right? There's that sense of exactly what you're saying. If you're a gamer, I know you can focus on one thing and get it done well for an extended period of time. You can work on details, you know how to pull. There are so many skills that go into that. It's ironic, I didn't even realize it until we got our esports arena done. I will go on record to say I was wrong. I'm like, this is the stupidest thing that we're gonna do. And I'm watching people going like, why are you watching people play games on YouTube all day? And my team's like, you got ESPN on. You're watching people play games all day. I'm like, oh, yeah, I guess so, right? Just a different game, right? But that skill set that comes with it. And I think that has really been remarkable. And we've seen that the students who come to into that program isn't just about the gamers, right? To put on one tournament, for example, it might only be a 5-on-5 team that are playing, but it takes 100 people behind the scenes to pull that off.
It's amazing. It is amazing. And it's all being streamed. And a lot of times, most of these are being live streamed. And to sit there, the first time I watched our Roadrunner gaming group do a live stream, I was like, oh my goodness gracious, this is amazing. So I'm working on my computer and I've got a screen going over here and that's all running. They said, oh, Dr. Kenon, we want you to see what we're doing today. And so that, it is just amazing to see. You're exactly right. Yeah.
So I love that. As we transition to transforming learning environments, Vanessa, so you have your partnership with the eSports Trade Association, and major companies like Six Flags, if you want to sponsor the podcast, you can, are creating unique career paths for students. Break down how these collaborations work and share a story of a student whose career trajectory was transformed through these organizations.
Oh, I think that is fantastic. So yes, I will. Really excited about our chapter that we have with the eSports Trade Association in South Texas. And also want to give a shout out because as you talk about that, it's perfect. I have to give props to our Roadrunner Gaming group. So this is our actual jerseys for Roadrunner Gaming. If you see, and you can look at some of the companies that have sponsored, we have Weaver Technology has been great, XP League has been great, Dell has been phenomenal in working with us. Dell Technologies, you'll see the actual Dell logo with my Dr. Kenon on the side. Oh. They provide the jerseys for our students. So that has been fantastic. We have students who are actually working XP League San Antonio. We have students who are actually working with Six Flags. And when Six Flags put together that facility, it was a worldwide global launch of that facility. The neat thing about that facility is we had students working in there from the time that they reached out and said, hey, we're going to change and transform this entire building, partnering with Coca-Cola. We had students there at the beginning, and those students got a chance to work and see what it was like to build an esports facility. They actually told Six Flags, this is the games you want to have in here. This is the way you want to have. This is the speed you want to have of the computers and the whole works. And they worked with some of our infrastructure folks at UTSA who also got on calls with Six Flags and said, hey, we'll be glad to give you our opinion on this and some of the things that you're going to see here in the community and the importance of that. From that perspective, I think that was really good to have companies like Rackspace to step in and help us out with our Bold Careers program. They have companies like Dell Technologies to step in and help us with that. Weaver and XP League, I think, was a big portion of that. And also training those students how to properly work with those companies and with the alumni, because in their Discords, they have tons of alumni who are out there now. They've already graduated. They're working for major companies. They need funds to go and travel and go to different places. So they're like, oh, we'll be glad to do that for you. We're like, hey, you've got an account through the university. Do it the right way. Work with these companies the right way. So that's been a big part for me, is working with the students and seeing their maturity to grow and know what it's like to be the president of a esports team or the president of a group or organization.
I love that. So Joe, at SC, you pioneered the transformation of traditional classrooms to creative technology hubs, which toured, and it was awesome. I wish I was back in college. Now at UCLA, you're reimagining the learning spaces. So you're almost done building out the leadership team. What's your vision for how you want to reimagine that student experience?
Yeah, great question, great question. There's only a few times in life where you get a chance to really say, if I were gonna do it all over again from ground up, what would I do? And that's really what we're doing. Everyone who's playing the TechTables drinking game, I'll say the word AI. So now I didn't take it, so we have to throw those things in there.
You gotta say it.
But we really are looking at building a platform that everything else can live upon, right? And because, again, going back to what I was saying about this kind of seamless, frictionless experience that we want to give the students, for example, I'll give you a great example. In our rooms, in our dorm rooms, for example, right now, students have to bring their own television if they want. They don't have TVs anymore, right? They're watching things on their phones. But for the Olympics, we got to provide televisions. Rather than just, say, going down to the store and buying a bunch of them, why can't we reimagine that? We have the data of who's in the room. We know who it is. What if we could put in, for example, a hotel type of system where you turn it on and they could watch their lecture back from yesterday and they can start to review from that. Maybe they can order their Starbucks and it can be picked up as they're going. Leverage wayfinding and those kind of generative technologies as well to be able to make everything one holistic system. The same thing, then they go into class, we know who's there, we can leverage technology to say, hey, we know you just stepped into this class. Do you want to open up the LMS system to now bring up your class? A faculty member maybe control from their laptop. We want to look at this kind of idea of zero touch deployments, make the campus smarter than the people using it, right? And I think that's really one of the things that we're doing. As part of our digital campus roadmap, while I'm doing our classroom technologies, our audio-visual technologies, there's actually 15 initiatives going on simultaneously, from an entire network upgrade, our LMS systems, data. We just hired a chief data and AI officer. And so we're really excited about saying, okay, we have these different initiatives that we're doing, and let's do them together. Let's build upon one another. So it's not like where all ships will rise, but we're also in that let's move slow to move fast. Let's get everything together, which I've never seen an organization, to throw another buzzword out, collaborate, right? There, everyone got to take another drink. I say collaboration. But we all talk about it, right? If you go apply for a job, everyone's going to tell you, oh, one of our values is collaboration. And you're like, but I've never felt in this way ever in my career than we have it now, because we're all going through the same thing. If I take, for example, our network upgrade or our cybersecurity upgrade, normally they would take the AV guy, me, and I'm a second thought. Now I'm in their governance boards, right? And I'm able to have that input and have my team in their governance so that when they're designing this, they're taking that into account and saying, hey, what do you need? I want wireless first. Great, let's make sure that we get enough APs in there. And having that in the same thing, as I'm doing my technologies, I can work with our teaching and learning center, who comes along and says, oh, by the way, we want to be able to have more active learning. We want to do this. So great, can we look at our furniture? Are we accessible? Are we sustainable? There's a lot of things that weren't ever taken into account, and we can throw those all on the table from day one and then say, all right, now let's build the picture of that puzzle together. And I think it's really unique. I'm excited about it. Out of those 15 initiatives, I think 3 or 4 are in flight, got a couple of them going, but we're all just getting those pieces. And it'll be an exciting few years. And with that, I think one of the cool things is we're saying, okay, our customers, we use the word customers, and that's controversial, right? It's controversial. But again, look at it's not just students, faculty. We have a 5-star hotel on campus, right? So we have to be able to focus on our outside, our donors, alums, right? So everyone we touch, and so many different touch points, we want to make sure to pull them into it to make it whatever experience they're having on campus works for them. And I'm really excited about it. And I think one of the cool things, because I just said a ton without saying anything, because we don't really know what to say. We don't know what we're going to do yet. But we're going to go out there and we're going to say, let's just do crazy. Let's see what's out there, what's possible. Let's work with our partners. That's why my whole team is here, and they're disbanded, and they're like, they're hitting every booth going, what are you doing? What do you have? What can integrate with this into our system as we start to plan and develop it and architect it? So I'm really excited about it. I think it's going to be really transformative for the students and the campus experience, because we get that opportunity to take everything into account across their experience.
And you were right on board about wayfinding, because data and wayfinding, that's one of the big things, especially with freshmen. When you see them come on campus, they're so lost. And we have so much now with technology where you can go down and with Google Maps, all kinds of things. That's one of the things I think we're going to see on campuses a lot. I think we're going to see a lot more of the data tracking. That's why we have all of these data offices. As you've interviewed some of our chief data officers here in Texas, there's a requirement that you have one at all universities, public universities, and agencies. So there's going to be a lot more on that. I think it's absolutely amazing what you were talking about, the student experience and personalizing that. My grandson just transferred and plays basketball at University of Illinois, Chicago. And he tells me when he walks into the gym for practice, the gym is set up where it knows that it's him. It can track his repetitions, what he's doing, his percentages, and the whole works. I'd never heard of anything like that before. And the fact that we've gotten to that point, I'm sure probably some of the professional teams have that, but to see it on a college campus and a college having that, it's amazing. I want to see that when I go to visit it.
Yeah, see, and I love that, because the thing is, we have the data. We know all these things, but often our issue isn't getting data. We talk so much about it. Our issues is making data actionable, right? What are you going to do with it? We collect a lot of it. So I think that's a great example of it. One of the things that we're doing too, that I'm really excited about, is building a digital twin of our campus, right? We know that, again, throwing more buzzwords out there about the enrollment clip, all these things that are going to happen. But also, we're challenged as a university to increase enrollment by 20-25% over the next few years. Turns out that land in Beverly Hills is expensive, so we can't just keep throwing buildings up. So how can I bring 25% more students and get that, raise our tuition, or state schools? We can't raise it in cost, but so we have to do it in volume, right? How can we do that? We can go into the cloud. We can go into virtual worlds. So we're actually taking all of our learning spaces and making a complete virtual immersive experience for each one of them. Because I might only have 20 seats in the classroom, I could have unlimited online. Now can we make that one experience? But beyond that too, that also allows us to take the data, let's pull that, not just the learning experience, but now I know how many people are in a room. I can follow traffic, foot traffic. And if I know that the size of spaces, I can come bring the registrar in, say, let's better plan when we're going to use our space. Maybe we can have after 4 p.m., maybe there's not as many classes. We don't schedule any of them in one whole hallway. Now we can kill the air conditioning so we can be more sustainable. We can have the doors auto lock on itself. So now we're protecting all of our assets, right? There's other things that we can do with that data and maybe actually make it actionable in other ways that we don't normally think of. And so I think those are things that we're looking to do, and hopefully we do.
And then as we talk about students in classes, like I'm looking at Alam Bumi, who's one of our students that's here. He's over talking to Trinity Cyber. He's a information systems and cyber student. So he's taking all of his classes this semester. When I had to write letters for why the students would not be in class because they're going to be here having this wonderful experience, I didn't have to do one for him because all of his classes are 100% online. He's taken 18 hours, all of them completely online this semester. I was like, what? So it's amazing. A lot of our students, that's where they want to be because then they can do other things. So in this case, I didn't have to write a letter like I usually write every year coming to EDUCAUSE for students to be out of class. He'll still get his work done. That letter always says they are still responsible for their schoolwork. Great, he's here having this experience.
And I think you're dropping truth bombs all over the place. I think another thing to think about is, like you said, taking classes online. And we hear pushback from faculty going, oh, we don't want online. We're traditional red brick campus. We don't online programs, et cetera. But having an online class does not mean students don't want to go to college, right? They just want to leverage their time and resources different.
And eyes away. No.
And I love it. And I also think that brings us great opportunities from a pedagogy side as well to say, look, we know if you are, and I've championed this, if you are only going to lecture and be a talking head to a student for the entire hour, why are we making them go into a room and using resources for them just to stare at you? Let's get into a one-button studio. Let's produce you teaching that material. A 1 hour class, let's be honest, probably only 20, 25 minutes of it is actually material worth knowing because the rest is taking attendance, doing this, shuffling around, getting your slides up. Could we produce a package that now you can go put up on the LMS? Now bring your students in, make sure they've watched it beforehand, and now let's do application. Let's talk about what does this mean for their life, their major, all of that. That's transformational education, and we have that, and the students don't mind, right? I think the harder part's going to be taking the faculty to realize your lessons are just as valuable if they're watching it on a YouTube than if it's in person. And in fact, our students probably take it in better because you will see them watching a YouTube thing, talking on the phone, chatting here. They're the greatest multitaskers.
Oh, yeah.
And I see my daughter, my kids, 23, 24, 29, and I'm just shocked that with the things they can do, and I'm sitting there going, are you listening to me? And they can rattle off everything I just said. And I'm like, but you got this on and this, and you're listening to this, but that's who they are. And so why don't we use our technologies to mirror them and their behaviors instead of us telling them how they have to learn?
And we have to be smart enough to realize what you're saying, that, hey, we've got to go, once again, I always said, we have to go where they are and what they want, because then that's going to be important here going into the future as we hear so much about higher ed and the value of higher ed. And we're in a situation here in Texas where we're not seeing the cliffs as much. But what we are seeing is schools like the UCLAs, a lot of schools from back east coming and recruiting here in our markets. So we have to make sure that we're keeping up with what's going on at all the other places so that way we can be competitive with those schools that are coming here to recruit for students here in Texas. We have a lot of students down here.
This has been a fantastic conversation. I want to meet the kids where they are at the 5-star hotel on UCLA's campus. Tim, you want to stay in the 5-star hotel with me? Yep, he wants to. Okay, thank you both for coming on the Public Sector Show by TechTables. I really appreciate the time.
You bet.
Thanks so much.
Thank you so much, Joe. It's been great again.
Thank you.
Hey, what's up, everybody? This is Joe Tossi from TechTables.com, and you're listening to the Public Sector Show by TechTables. This podcast features human-centric stories from public sector CIOs, CISOs, and technology leaders across federal, state, city, county, and higher education. You'll gain valuable insights into current issues and challenges faced by top leaders. Through interviews, speaking engagements, live podcast tour events, we offer you a behind-the-mic look at the opportunities top leaders are seeing today. And to make sure you never miss an episode, head over to Spotify and Apple Podcasts and hit that follow button and leave a quick rating. Just tap the number of stars that you think this show deserves.